ladies and gentlemen. Yes, ye oldie bald one is here on a Friday, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show, the live show, coming from Worthing in West Sussex. I'm Richard Vobes, the Bald Explorer. I'm the bloke who goes around with all sorts of exciting people and finds out what's going on in this country and why, where and who and bing and boo. Yes, I'm the one that makes those lovely walking documentaries, well, not so much documentaries, but those walking videos that you will love and love to sit and watch every morning for about 10 minutes in your day. It is I, ladies and gentlemen. Now, if you've tuned in for the very first time and you're thinking, hang on a minute, aren't you supposed to be going for a walk? Aren't you supposed to start this with the, hello, I'm Richard Vobes, I'm the Bald Explorer, out on another walk? Well, this video is slightly different. This is the live show from Facebook. Facebook's own very exciting platform, whereby the audience is sitting there doing not very much, and then suddenly I pop up, bing, there I am. Hello, 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 baby. Yes, it's me. And if you're watching on YouTube or you're watching on a rerun on Facebook, it's not live. I'm sorry about that. I just have to say this little preamble at the beginning of each show, just so that you understand, because every now and again on the YouTubes, I still get people going, hello, is it live? Hello? And clearly it does say was live. People don't read the instructions, the descriptions even, and they forget. So that's fine. That's fine. It's lovely for you to go, hello, hello, is it live? Anybody there? Hello, are you there? Yes, I am here, but this is a pre-recorded version of me, unless you're watching live at this very moment in time. Every weekday from Monday to Friday. Yes, in the UK, British summertime currently, but the other times are available. GMT, for example, when GMT is available. It's not always available, as you know. We only have one part of the year that's GMT. The rest of it is this lovely British summertime, which is glorious sunshine time. Although today, the British summertime had with it, although it did have some summer, but it did have a little bit of a cold chill. And I was sitting outside like this going, oh my goodness, I wish I hadn't forgotten the key so I could get back into the house. Otherwise, I'm going to turn into an iceberg. And when I turn into an iceberg, ladies and gentlemen, I have to go running into the Titanic. You can only do that once. And somebody's already beat me to it. So I don't know what I'm going to have to go and run into now. That's the band. Thank you very much, band. Very nice band they are. Very lovely indeed. They are a gastric band, ladies and gentlemen, and they've been throwing up their dinner all day, and I've been there with the mop trying to polish it up. Let's see if there's somebody actually out there watching this show, because you never know. It's the sort of show that maybe there isn't. Elaine Blazer is there, and Brazier even. Danny Harris is there, better than EastEnders. Richard, thank you very much. That's very kind of you. Jason Beeching has joined. Hello, Jason. Very nice to see you. Paul Hine. He's got the clapperboard out. Stand by, Bald Explorer Live, take 472, take one, click! Which is rather good. Jennifer Stewart saying, hello all! But she's saying it in a lovely American accent, which I daren't even begin to imitate, in case I get a big slap. Graham Whittington says, good evening, Sir Richard. Good evening to you, Sir Graham. It's very nice to see you here in person. Well, not that I can actually see you. Sometimes I allude to the fact that I can see you, but it is lies. Lies! All lies! Damn lies, I tell you. Steve Blakey has arrived. Hello, Steve. Very nice to see you. Maggie Walters is here. Hello, she says. Alan Piddington is off to Biggin Hill in the morning for a bit of you-know-what, and how's your father? Oh, no, wait a minute. I don't think it says that. It says for a bit. So you may have some more Spitfire photographs tomorrow. Well, that would be very exciting. Whereabouts, I mean, you said Biggin Hill. What is the event, dear boy? What is the event? I must get up to Biggin Hill. Sounds great. Do I need crampons? Do I need to climb up that very Biggin Hill? May do. Danny Harris says, my great granduncle was on the Titanic. Oh, was he? Well, did he sink or swim? That is the question. Ladies and gentlemen, the new game show. Was he sinked or swam? No, did he sink or swim on the Titanic? My relation was on the Titanic. Did he swink or swim? My dearest great-great-grandmother was on the Titanic. Did she sink or swim? She may have been in one of those boats. Did she row or no, let's stop that. That's very offensive to anybody who happens to have gone on board and now is going, "Dear sir, I'm very upset with the quality of this show. You seem to have absolutely no regard for those poor people who drowned on the Titanic in 1912. Well, actually, I wasn't talking about the Titanic in 1912. I was talking about that little wooden boat that I've made when I sit in my bath, called Vobes Titanic, is what I call it. It's the same sort of thing, and it goes along, and then sometimes I'm digging a hole. Cynthia Walder says, "Good evening from Hazelmere." Good evening from Hazelmere. Is it very nice at Hazelmere? Tell me, Cynthia Walder from Hazelmere, is there a mere in Hazelmere? Is there a big pond that is a mere, or is it just mere fabrication? I would like to know. Jason Beechin says, "I was going out on a stag do with Harry tonight, but I thought I'd stay in and watch Mr. Vobes instead." So, I hope, oh yes, with Harry, you mean Prince Harry. I had to twig then. Much better that you stay in with me, because I'm afraid what will be happening with Harry is, yes, I am getting married in the morning. Yes, I am getting married in the morning. Ding dong, the bells are going to... Oh, could I have a little bit more? That's very kind of you. Ding dong, the bell... Where was I? The bells are going to shine. Yes, I have the glorious... what's her name? Miss Marple! Oh, yes, Miss Marple. I am marrying Miss Marple in the morning, and she will detect any sort of crimes and things that have gone wrong. Perhaps Mr. Stringer would know. Oh, yes, Miss Marple. I'm sure I know exactly what you're talking about. No, not Miss Marple. You're not marrying Margaret Rutherford. Is he marrying Margaret Rutherford? There's been a change of plan. Somebody should have told me. They'll have to dig up Margaret Rutherford because she is dead. I think it's Martin. What's her name? Martin Merkel? Martin. No, not Martin. Meghan Merkel. Is it Meghan? Meg. Yes, something like that. Anyway, they're getting married. So you're better off. If you'd gone out on a different type of stag party, it would have maybe run something like this. I was just what was it? Strip you naked, tie you to the post and swat, and we'll leave you there all night long and the shivering with your hairy flip-flops hanging out. It would be very funny. And that's just the wife. Or the potential wife, the fiancé, I should say. I say, it's your fiancé. I say, absolute cad. How dare you? It's absolutely insane. You're implying that my wife behaves anything like that? I say, you really shouldn't. Anyway, Stuart Dearsley's joined. Hello, Stuart. You're probably wondering what's going on. It's Friday. We've let our hair down. I have my hair down permanently, as you may have noticed. Nikki Jess has come by, which is rather nice. Todd Desborough says, "I have a battery-operated toy ship when I was a called, and I called it the Toytanic." Very good, very good. I think we should make Fridays a national pun day. If you've got a pun, if you've got a good pun, stick it up and we'll read it out. Friday is pun day. It should be Sunday, but we don't broadcast on a Sunday, so it's Friday. So there we are, that's quite good. And Glenn Johnson is going, "Beer! I want some beer! Beer here, quickly!" So that's all very good. Now, ladies and gentlemen, good news! Good news! The postman has arrived. When the postman knocks twice, I open the door with my lips pursed, ready, in case it's a, young, sexy postwoman. Because they could be, these days, couldn't they? Keeping fit, all that slender stuff, walking about. Nice, first thing in the morning. "Hello, sailor." I'm not a sailor, actually. "Oh, what a shame." Yeah, it is a shame. Anyway, I've got postcards. More postcards have come in. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to send a postcard to the Vobie One-Eyed Kenobi and get them up on the old post things, the chalk, not chalk, what are they? Cork boards. I know what they are. Where's the lovely Julia to help me? She's not here. The microphone's here, look. Julia? Hello, Julia? She's had some gin and tonic. Georgie left a little drop and I'm afraid, bonk, she's out. Better move her microphone out the way in case she comes up singing. You've not heard the lovely Julia sing. When we were going to Glastonbury, ladies and gentlemen, I heard her sing, all right, for about 16 hours. La, la, la. She goes, "Hills are alive with the sound of Julia," which, is quite... I may be blind in one side. It's funny because I'm actually blind I'm blind on the left side and we drive on the right. So I'm sitting there in the car like this, trundling along. I make that noise because the car's silent car, like that. And she's sitting there. She can pull faces at me. She can do the V's up sign. She can sort of make, nasty sort of things. She could just sit there looking admirable. But whatever she does, I can't see her. It's quite funny, actually. Anytime I have a passenger, if they are quiet in the car for any length of time, I get a bit forgetful because I don't see them. I have no peripheral vision in there. And you know what it's like? You're sitting in the car and the next minute you're picking your nose, aren't you, at the red lights like this? And you have to remember there's somebody sitting there next to you. You're belching, because most of us sit there and belch in the car. You're making funny noises at your bottom. All that kind of stuff happens when you're sitting there on your own. There may be other things that happen when you're sitting there on your own. It's very easy when you can't see somebody to think that they're not there, and you start doing those things, and then they're going, "Oh my goodness, how dare you, it's disgusting!" And you go, "I was just opening the window, love. That was all I was doing, just opening the window." Anyway, I don't know what I'm on about. Oh, postcards. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, postcards. Got any booze and grub tonight, says Anne Evans. Well, do you know what? I haven't got any booze and grub tonight. It's just me. I didn't think it would be fair to sit here on my own, boozing and drinking. I'm going to be here teetotal tonight, which will be a difference. Hello, lovely Julia, says Nikki Jess. Hello, lovely Julia. Nikki Jess. Sorry about this, Nikki. Julia, hello, wakey, wait, she's fast asleep. Wakey. Nope, she's not answering. Sorry about that, Nikki. Kushti Phil has joined. Well, about time. I've been slightly worried about where you were. I was going to send out the dogs, a search party, and a few monks. But unfortunately, the monks are too busy ringing bells, and the dogs are chewing bones, because that's what they do. Paul M. Newitt. Hello, Paul M. Newitt. I don't think I've seen you before, so you're a new boy. It's lovely to have you here, by the way, Paul M. Newitt. And I should have known it that you were coming. I'm a nit for not knowing it. Anyway, he says, raise your arms and say, "Oh-ah!" Then put your arms straight out and say, "That's good." Then your arms on your chest and say, "Siam." Then do it all over again, faster and faster. I can't even read the blooming thing. Janet Frederick. Hello, Janet Frederick. Lovely to have you. You're very, very welcome. Do sit down. Take a pew. Don't take that one. I was going to sit on that. I'll sit here then. You all right down there, Julia? Yes, she still seems to be all right. Don't undertake the Vobes then, says Nigel Sadler. No, quite right. Alan Piddington says, what's in Julia's cup behind you? It's behind you! What do you mean? Her cup floweth off, don't you know? Oh, hello. Got my arm stuck now. Sorry, I've got to do the rest of the show like this. Romeo! Wherefore art thou, Romeo? What light through window... Juliet! What light through window... is it a horse I see before... I could do all the Shakespeare stuff, couldn't I? To be or not to be, whether 'tis noble in the... Oh, ugh. It's all right. I've got it unstuck. Maggie Walter says, it seems as though you've been tickled with the tickling stick this very lively this evening. I have to make up, you see, ladies and gentlemen. I have to make up for the other person. I have yet to get Eric... Wait a minute. Eric's down there. Julia's down there. Who knows what's going to happen? They may... Well, no, of course. Eric's not that way at all. Not saying about Julia, of course, but Eric is too small. Anyway, Danny Harris says, as she loves purple, is Julia a fellow Prince fan? Yes, she loves Prince Harry and his purple little streak in his hair that he's going to give to Meghan Markle tomorrow, and her hair will sparkle. Richard Suggett says, Superman. Oh, yes, I should have got Superman. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's a man with red underpants outside his trousers and a big cape, and he's on wires. Ba-ba-bum, ba-ba-ba-bum, bum-ba-bum, ba-ba-ba-bum, ba-ba-bum. Is that the right tune? Ba-ba-bum, ba-ba-ba-bum, 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 ba-ba-ba-bum. Something like that. Just a minute, sorry, hang on. Hello? Yes? Oh, hello, Mum. Yes? Keep the noise down. You're trying to sleep. All right, thanks, Mum. Bye. Sorry about that. Got to keep the noise down. My mother is trying to sleep. She's lives in 20 miles away in Horsham, but apparently she can still hear me. Alan Piddington says, about Biggin Hill. No, it's just no event. Just they look out at the cafe at the end of the run. Do they just run these Spitfires willy-nilly? I thought they were expensive to put up into the air. More expensive to get them down unless you've got a bigger net. A bigger net, yes. Anyway, Paul Hines says, I saw 6 men kicking and punching the mother-in-law. My neighbour said, are you going to help? I said, no, 6 should be enough. Quite right. I thank you all. I thank you all. The jokes are coming thick and thin. Yes, keep those puns coming. That would be lovely. And the lovely Julia has... what do you mean she's just joined? Wait, Julia, you can't be out there. You're on the floor down here. Fast asleep. Snoozing on the job. What? How can you... She's gone. Eric has carted her back home on his little pig. He's like a little hunchback, you know. He's hunched. He's got little Julia over there, the legs over the shoulder like this, so her head is bashing onto the tarmac floor, going bunk, 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 bunk. Purple hair is streaming behind her, and he's trundled her all the way back to Lancing, near Shoreham. Nightmare. Anyway, so well done to you, Julia. That's all I can say. Anyway, the point was, ladies and gentlemen, about half an hour ago, I had some postcards to announce, and here they are. Here they are. Greetings from Littlehampton. This postcard was delivered in person by hand. Have a look at that. It says, to Richard and everyone in Bald Explorer Land. Having a great time in L.A. There's some great allotments as well as a Oh, wait, what? He said his writing was bad. A fantastic, sorry. A fantastic sandy beach from Richard, the Naked Veg Grower podcast. It's this new podcast. It won't catch on. Put your clothes back on, Richard, for goodness sake. Yes, it was a Veg Grower podcast. Richard Suggett. He actually popped round today. Unexpected, uninvited. Oh, it was embarrassing. I had to make him coffee. I had to chat to him for 2 hours. Can you imagine how dull and boring that was? And he was telling me, oh, yes, my podcast this. Oh, yeah. My vegetable patch this. Yes, oh, yes. I was doing this. I went down to Southampton. Yeah, did you really? It's very interesting, Richard. Yes, thanks very much. Oh, and I would tell you about this. Yes, all right, Richard. Do you want another cup of coffee? Oh, yes, please. Are you sure? Yes. No, the coffee here is rancid, you know. No, I don't mind rancid coffee. Oh, you want rancid coffee, do you? So, no, he came. It was very nice to see you, Richard, if you're out there. Oh, there he is. Sorry my handwriting is terrible. It was just the fantastic that was terrible. Everything else about you was absolutely amazing. No, he came round. It was very nice to see Richard, actually. He came out of the blue, and I think I don't know what colour, van is white, actually, so he couldn't have come out of the blue. Anyway, the point is, he came round, he knocked on my door, he says, I'm not going away until I've cheered you up. And I said, well, I'm all right, actually. He says, no, according to your podcast, you're as miserable as sin. Oh, thanks. I'm all right, thank you. Got it off my chest this morning. I've been very busy. Anyway, we had a lovely good old chinwag. He said, come and sit outside in the cold. What do you mean, sit out there? The sun was going down. The wind was howling down the street. No, come and sit down in the... Are you sure? He said, I don't feel the cold. Yeah, but I'm freezing. I've got these tiny little thong on and everything. Oh, he said, I've got my thong on. I said, I'm not seeing your thong, thank you. I've heard about your naked gardening. Anyway, so that was one podcast. That was one postcard. A postcard from a podcast. Okay, so that's going to go up there in a second, ladies and gentlemen. It's going up there. I had a second postcard today. Whose was it? Whose was it? Who could it possibly be? Who has sent me a postcard? Who has sent me a postcard from over water, over the pond? Yes, I've got this postcard. Here it is. Look at that. I'll tell you where that is. That is the Michigan lighthouses. Yes, they're so light you could lift them up with one finger. And it says here, Dear Richard, from America! Yes, Donald Trump has sent me a postcard. He's a big fan of this show, by the way. You may not realise that. He takes all his advice... this is why the world is in such terrible trouble, because he takes all his advice from me. I say to him, here, Don, I say to him, here, this will be a good Trump card to have up your sleeve. And he goes, oh yeah, he says, because, you know, he's not really sort of American. He's, oh yeah, tell me. And I tell him, not really, I'm making that bit up. He said this, anyway, this is from America. It is from America, I didn't make that bit up. He says, I hope this finds you well. The lighthouse on the top right-hand side is of my hometown, Luddington. It's a nice name, isn't it? I come from Luddington. My husband and I, we are going to Luddington, for we are Luddites. Oh, Luddites. Is that what they call these lighthouses? Luddites at Luddington. That's not very nice, is it? Michigan, where I was raised. Were you? raised by wolves. A little bit of wolf levitation there, ladies and gentlemen. And this is from the lovely Jennifer Stewart. Thank you so much, Jennifer Stewart. Are you out there this evening? You may well be. And this is your postcard, and it's got lots of... Now, the one you're talking about, hang on, which one did you say it was? The top right-hand side, which is the one in purple. Look, it's over there, the one in purple. That is the one that the lovely Julia would like to have been in. So that's how I sound when I talk, she says. That's genuine. That was a genuine recording. I had it on an MP3, just played it in, and I've been practicing my ventriloquism so that I can mime to it. That's exactly how she speaks. Oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah. No, that was Donald Trump. Hang on, I'm getting confused now. Anyway, the point is, we've got to go and put them on the thing. So let's go and put them on the thing with some putting them on the thing music. Yeah, I am getting on with it. I know it's a bit, it's a little bit self-indulgent today's show, isn't it? I do apologise for that. It's because I got no lovely guests to sort of stop me from talking. But anyway, so we'll shove this on about there, and I promised Richard Suggett that I would have him on the bottom left, which I know sounds a bit rude, but it isn't as rude as you think. There, see, like that. Isn't that lovely? Aye, that's lovely, that, isn't it? Aye, I'll go put it up on the wall, shall I? All right then, lad. There we go. Look, easy. Oops. Wait a minute. That'll do for now. Right, where are we? Oh, yes. How are we doing? Anyway, is that near Trumpton? I think it is near Trumpton. Paul Watts has joined. Hello, Paul. Lovely to see you. Thanks for coming along. Adding Pillington is laughing his socks off, which is rather nice. Stephen Knight is going... this is a bit strange. Christopher Cox, hello to you. That looks great, says Dave Baker. There we go. It's pretty, you know, it's almost straight, isn't it? Almost is pretty good. Right, so what have we got next on the excitement of tonight? What is the time, by the way? It's 22 minutes past. Can't believe how little we've done in such a short space of time. So, it's the 18th of May. We've got 659 members in the group, ladies and gentlemen. 659 members in the group. Trying to get up to 700 in the next few days. Well, what are we talking about? Just over 10 days? Just over about 11, 12 days, something like that. So if you know anybody who'd like to join the group, we need to get them up to 700. 700! Cool, that's a task, isn't it? It is a task, actually. That's the whole point of me saying it's a task. Right, so... Oh, yes. Now, I was talking to the very lovely Chris Monk earlier today on the old blower, and I said to Chris, hello. He said hello back. So we had a nice conversation using the English language, which works very well when you both speak the same words. Now, he is working on a walking website. It's not a website that you climb on and sort of walk around because you need a very big monitor for that, but he's working on a website where you can go for a walk and it tracks where you go. And I believe, and I may have got this bit wrong, that you can take pictures along route and they will show up on this thing. Now, he unfortunately doesn't have a smartphone, poor chap. So, I don't know why, but he doesn't have a smartphone, and he's looking for some testers to test out this walking... website. Now, Richard Suggett, the lovely Richard Suggett, he said he will definitely test this naked and he will walk around the countryside without any clothes on and see if it works. What you do is you get your phone, you log into the website, you go for a walk and it will track where you go. But he says he needs to get a few testers. Now, the idea how you can do this, if you're going for a walk and we want to see if we can get a few people interested, email me, richard@vobes.com, and I will then take those emails and send them to him and he will go get in touch with you. You'll have to set up some form of account, very easy to do, or he'll set a bogus account up for you or whatever. It's just like beta testing. And then when you go for a walk in the next couple of weeks or whatever, it can be a walk down to the post office. It doesn't really matter. He's just looking to see where the bugs are, and then he's going to develop it further. He may get it into an app, so it's a bit easier. But for the moment, it's just on the website. He's just testing out the principle. So I said I will mention it. I did mention it a couple of weeks ago, but he had a technical issue with it, and he's going to fix that, and I think he's more or less ready. So if you're interested, you'll have to email me. Paul N. Newitt says, could you place a map of the UK on the wall behind you and add a red pin to show where you've done your shows from? That's a good idea. We did have a map, but we didn't add any pins to it. Then the lovely Julia throws a dart at it for your next adventure. Well, that is a good idea. I quite like the idea of the lovely Julia throwing a dart. Many years ago, you may not know this, but I did a bit of knife throwing, ladies and gentlemen, a bit of knife throwing. And I did suggest that I could do a bit of knife throwing with the lovely Julia. And she did point out to me, she says, you only have one eye now. And I said, oh yes, that's when I did a backwards flip and I took one eye out. Glenn Johnson says, one of the 659 is my missus because I logged her Facebook page by mistake. Oops-a-daisy. Right, well, in that case, we've only got 658. Now we've got to get a few more. This is outrageous. Ian Beddoe says, back in the day, you did a voiceover for me. Could I ask if you could do an Eric voice? Sir, you've got a text message, as I keep missing them with the beep. Yes, of course. I must write that down at some point. I've got a pen. What's your name? Ian Beddoes, Eric voiceover. I'll ask Eric if he's free. He's very expensive these days. At the moment, he's still on his way back from having taken Julia back home. Linda Kane says, or showing where all the Vobes live. Well, it might be a bit, you know, people, you never know who's watching this show, ladies and gentlemen. It's always a bit of a worry, because when you do anything like that and you show where people, you never know. I mean, I never know if anybody's watching this show. I mean, for all I know, these things I read out, they may just be bots. It may just be Facebook playing with me. It may be that all of you lot are not real people. You're just computer-generated things, and you know, and it's just bots. And I'm talking to bot. How many times a day in life do we talk to bots? And what's more important, in the future, how many times a day will we be talking to bots in the future and not even know that they're real people? Mind you, the amount of people that ring me up and go, hello, would you like double glazing? I often think they're bots. Glenn says, any in Crawley? Yes, actually, I do have people in Crawley, creepy Crawley. Pam says, we need a map of the world. Yes, that's true. Well, really and truly, you wouldn't be able to see very much. I would like to have some sort of interactive map on the group page that people could actually pin in where they are or where they've walked or all that sort of stuff. Adding Piddington is saying, overload. We are going to a wonderful village of Crawley on Saturday, says Paul Hind. The wonderful village of Crawley. Where's that? I know the town in West Sussex. The town of Crawley, where, of course, John George Haigh, the acid bath murderer, killed Mrs. Duran Deacon and put her into a great big tin, a big 50-gallon oil drum of sulfuric acid, which he poured from a carboy and dissolved. That's why I don't go to Crawley very much. In Leopold Road, you'll find that all happened. Dave Baker's laughing. Glenn says the Truman Vobe Show. Yes, I don't know what the Truman... I did see the Truman Show with that comedian who's gone a bit weird. What's his name? He did Ace Ventura. I can't remember his name. Jennifer Stewart lives in Clacton. She's not really in the US. Ah, yes, that's what I thought. With an accent like that, she must be in Clacton. Clacked in Irons, I think, would be good. So anyway, Richard Puggett. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to do the group. I'll tell you why I'm going to do the group now. Get that out of the way. But I'm going to do the group because there's something I want to talk about immediately after that. So let's go and have a look in the group, ladies and gentlemen, and see what's occurring down there. So, are you ready? Yes, I am. And so, ladies and gentlemen, in the group, you've been sending in your lovely pictures back to the group, and I do apologise that I cannot return them, each and every one of them, because they're all going to the royal couple tomorrow to be clamped onto the back of the car as they head off down Pall Mall, going, we've just got married, we've just got married, woohoo! I've inherited England, yippee! Yeah, I bet you'll be happy. Anyway, Let's have a look inside the group, shall we? Come on in, hurry up. All right, I'm doing my best. For goodness sake, it's only me here today. Steve Pilfold has been to Rickney. I don't know where Rickney is. I've never heard of it. Rickney? Is it near Hackney? It's a lovely place. Rickney. Wherever. I should have looked that up. I apologise, Steve. I have no idea where Rickney is, but maybe you could tell me. And Stuart Hill has been to Tackney. No, not Tackney. He's been to Tack Hill. Very interesting looking building, that thing there, which I assume is in the market square, which is probably where they used to have the butter market of some description, because they normally do that. It's near Doncaster, he tells me, up north in Yorkshire, in Doncaster, Stuart Hill. So thank you very much for posting that. It's very nice to see that. Richard Suggett, who we mentioned earlier, had been in posting "Where am I?" pictures. Where is he? This is a cunning little picture. Where is he? Is he in Bournemouth? Is he on the Orkney Islands? Perhaps he's in Egypt. He gets around as Richard Suggett. He gets around with his refrigeration repairs, and I've got a feeling that is in Syria somewhere. Somewhere serious, anyway. But actually, it turns out it's Southampton. So there we are. I've given the game away. Do apologise. Now, Vobing reporters, the lovely Maggie Walters and her fantastic husband Robbie, have been going through the undergrowth even. Hell for leather. Look at that. They're being chased by wild boar. I think they are probably somewhere in the outer nether regions of Peru. But it turns out, not Peru, but Ludlow. Near Ludlow, creeping around the castle in their military guise, ready to storm the castle. So I hope the weather wasn't that grim. Meanwhile, Graham Whittington has been looking around in his library, he says, and he's pulled out his own personal library. We've all got our own personal library, no doubt. And he's found some old exercise books that he used to do working on. This one, I think, was something to do with the moon landings or the Apollo taking offs or something. Anyway, he's got pictures there of the little cone thing. You know, the thing that the Apollo landings, when they came back, it swivels around like that, lands in the sea in a big balloon of love. And then the helicopter, which is actually smaller than the balloon of love, and quite massively bigger than the boat that's come out, the warship that's come out to blow up those poor astronauts. Anyway, that's all happening. I can't actually read the writing, but he's been taking pictures of that. Fascinating stuff. Well done. Thank you very much. That's very good. In the meantime, Glenn Johnson's been on the Clyde in a speedboat by the looks of things, looking at the scenery, and then he landed somewhere and there were some amazing carvings. You'll have to go into group to see those, because I didn't have the presence of mind to bring them into the operating software that I'm using today. But they are pretty amazing, so go and check those out. In the meanwhile, the lovely Colin Brown, who I'm hoping to see actually fairly soon and do a walk with, has taken a picture here of St. Hugh's Charterhouse, which you might think, where the hell is that? Yes, it's a secret monk's hideout, a nuclear base for, what do they call them? I don't know, they call them something. They probably call them by their names, don't they? Friars or something. Anyway, that is near Cowfold in West Sussex, hidden away and quite exclusive. And only the other day, when the lovely Julia and I were heading up towards Warnham, we took the back routes up from the Brighton direction, and we went past Cowfold, and we went past this place, at least a turning to it, and I pointed to Julia and I said, oh, there's a lovely monastery in there, and she didn't believe me. But anyway, not to worry. Alan Piddington has been out looking for books, and he's found in a second-hand bookshop a book about digging for victory. One of the original books. He bought it for his wife so that she can get into the garden and dig for some victory. Probably Victory V's, I'm not quite sure. It's one of those old wartime books. There's a close-up of it which tells you what you can plant and what you can't plant, which is all very good. And here, Tom Crawford has been on the River Ouse in Bedfordshire getting blurred water effects. And what a lovely blurred water. I mean, if ever you wanted to get blurred water, that is it. Because water doesn't really look like that in real life, but you can blur it by the magic of photography. It's quite an interesting concept, photography. It won't catch on, of course. Soon they'll be doing pictures of people moving, and that would be absolutely stupendous. Anyway, so that was the group. These pictures have come from the Bald Explorer group page Thank you for the emojis. They're all going up there. And if you're not a member of the group, then all you have to do is get yourself over to the Bald Explorer on Facebook, facebook.com/Bald Explorer. When you get in there, it says visit the group. You go and visit the group. If you're not a member, there'll be some little person of some significance with important, with the keys, and they'll open the door, they'll let you in, and then you can go and post your own pictures or investigate the ones we've just been looking at, which is all very good. So that's all right. Apparently, Rickney is in Hailsham, so we learned something. East Sussex. Thank you very much for that. Julia's given us a big thumbs up. So now I wanted to talk about, because we saw that Alan Piddington had got that book, Dig for Victory. Well, a while ago, while I was doing some research for a little book I was writing about the Second World War, a storybook for children, which is still not written fully, although I've got the whole story, but I got fed up with writing for kids' books that nobody wanted to buy, is the honest truth. But I did buy some books when I was doing my research. Here we are, Make, Do and Mend, which is all very good. I still live by that. I do all sorts of stuff. I get my pleats repaired. Everybody wants to get their pleats repaired. I renew my worn gloves. I keep pace with a growing girl. Apparently, you're not allowed to do that anymore because you can get put away 6 months for bad behaviour. You can give an old coat a fresh start, which is always good. And it's nice to keep a blouse within bounds. It's all in there, ladies and gentlemen. It's all in there. Other things you can do, he says, opening at random. This is something you can heat with water. Hot water bottles. Oh, sorry, hot water boilers. Yes. It says here, don't roar the fire. Control it by means of dampers. Gas and electricity heating stoves, gas fires, combination grate, Coke grates. Apparently you can put Coca-Cola on. And if you're very lucky, you can get your clothing coupon quiz. Answer to questions on the rationing of clothing, footwear, cloth and knitting yarn. How many people go out and ration their knitting yarn? That's issued by the Board of Trade, published by Her Majesty's Stationery Office. H.M. Smith. W.H. Smith, isn't it? Anyway, there's a lovely book if ever you need to make things or mend them. So that's one of my recommendations today. And, of course, Eating for Victory. Oh, you thought it was just simple to dig for it. But once you've dug up your vegetables, you can start to eat. For example, here we are. It says here, what is that? I can't even read that. What does that say? Oh, yes. Using stale bread. We all want to use a bit of stale bread now, don't we? It says here you can make, this is the one for Julia. Have you got any, Julia, have you got any old stale bread? Don't throw it away, Julia, because you can make fairy toast. You can. It says cut wafer-thin slices of bread and bake them in a moderate oven. Have we all got moderate ovens? I've got a moderate oven. Actually, I've got a skimpy oven. Until crisp and golden brown. Golden brown, do-do-do-do-do. It's obligatory to sing that song when you hear those two words. Store in an airtight tin. This is a good standby to have in place of bread or plain biscuits, and it will keep for months. I didn't understand what I just read. Cut the wafer slices of... Oh, anyway. What else can we do? Fish. No, we don't want to do anything with fish. I can't bear fish. Oh, yes. Using saccharine. That's nice. I think, again, you can get put away for that. Anyway, rock bun variations. You can make ginger cake, chocolate cake, raspberry buns, fruit cake, queen cakes. Oh, gingerbread cake. Anyway, it's got different recipes for all that kind of stuff, if you fancy it. So Adam Pennington says, why have you not published? Well, I haven't published because no one was buying any of the things that I did publish. Solid gets books available on Amazon. Is that true? Should have gone to Specsavers. Anyway, so do you know a real tune? No, I don't know any tunes, me. Tunes! Make you breathe more easily. Little advert there from our sponsor, who's just sponsored me to say that, and now they've gone without paying a single penny, which is a bit of a shame. Anyway, so that was it. Oh, and another interesting thing. Let me just get onto this, ladies and gentlemen. Let me get onto this. I've recommended this book. This was given to me, or suggested to me, Wildwood, A Journey Through Trees by Roger Deacon. An absolutely marvellous read. But I was stunned and sorrified to hear that Roger Deacon died at 63 fairly recently. He's such a lovely writer, so well written, so beautiful, so poetic, talking about his life and various escapades he's had with trees and wood and anything connected with wood. I was reading the other day about The Green Man. I'm now currently reading about the Forest of Dean and The Wire. And I'm very keen to go to the Forest of Dean, actually. I would like to go there. To talk to the lovely Julia about another mini adventure. I said, we could go to the Forest of Dean. There's trees there, you see. She said, oh, trees. I said, yeah, but it's more than just that. There's lots of interesting things. So we may do another mini adventure in that neck of the woods. Who knows? But the reason I mention this is he also wrote another book. I forget what it is called, but he was very big, I discovered, on trying to do a bit of research about him, very big on swimming in natural rivers. He loved to swim in when I say natural rivers, obviously, you know, in nice rivers, not Niagara Falls and stuff. But he was one of those swimmers, people who like to swim. And I thought, I'm not very good on swimming. I used to be good on swimming, but I lost my eye. If I go in water now and I swim, there's a chance that my false eye could pop out. And that won't be a good sight for anybody who sees me. But I quite like the idea, when it's warm, to go and do some swimming. So I might get his book and see if we can't do a video at some point. I'm not immediately, it's too cold. And to try and find some nice swimmers. But I was interested in, do you swim? And would you swim in rivers? Because are rivers too polluted? This book was written sometime in the 80s, I think. I'm not sure when the other book was written, that he wrote, when he was talking about that. When was this written? I can't see it, it's too small lettering. Should have gone to Specsavers again. Julia, you need to go to Emmett's Garden near me, says Alan Piddington. The National Trust of Emmett's Garden. Wild swimming, says Nigel. Yeah, wild swimming. I think that'd be quite an interesting thing. Deacon, the bass guitarist for the band Queen, dead. No, not that one. Different one. Different one altogether. This one is interested in trees and swimming. Nothing to do with the other bloke. Terry Wood is telling me it's wild swimming, which is good. Wear goggles then, says Glenn Johnson, being ever the clever sod. Yeah, thanks. That's a good idea. I didn't think of that, did I? Because that looks stupid in goggles, mainly. But it's a good idea and I can do that. I can swim like a brick, says Kevin Hall. Yes, well, I generally swim like a brick. It's the best way. As a kid, I was always jumping into rivers and ponds. It explains a lot, Richard. Todd Desborough says, where did you hear that, Paul? I don't know. Where did you hear that, Paul? Who knows? So, yeah, I was thinking about doing a bit of wild swimming. So that could be that's another little thing. So I need somebody who's got some experience of wild swimming to go and do it with me and help me film, of course, in some rivers and things. I don't want to drown. Jason Beeching says, a friend of mine says he doesn't drink water because fish pee in it. Yes, well, I wouldn't drink water that fish swim in, and I think you'll find if they are in southern water or Thames water or wherever you are, they wouldn't survive because of all the chlorine and no doubt all that sort of stuff. So there we go. Right, so we've managed to we've done the group, haven't we? Yes. Oh, we're well ahead of time, and it's only 20:43. The other thing, here we go. I've got one more thing to talk about. Well, actually, I've got a number of things, but let's break up the proceedings because the lovely Steve Pilfold has been somewhere in Sussex and he's sent in a lovely video. So let's find out what Steve Pilfold has been up to and where he is.
Hi, Steve Pilfold, we're in Sussex here. Right, up on the East Hill of Hastings today, came up on the Funicular Railway, 1902, originally powered by water. I believe it's the steepest operational funicular railway in the country. And it brings you up to these lovely views. Look, there's Beachy Head in the background. Hope that you can see that. And if we look round on the right hand side, you can see Hastings Castle with the West Hill Railway, two funicular railways here in Hastings, and the West Hill in the background there. St Leonard's, a few houses up on the hill, most of the town actually in the valley behind, and then out to sea. Look, no boats out there today. I'm not quite sure why that is. It's not too bad, a little bit breezy up here. and looking back down towards the railway. The railway is pretty much right in the middle there. I'm going to go back down because, as I say, it is a bit breezy up here, and hopefully catch you again sometime when we look for somewhere else. We're in Sussex and Vobing reporting.
A big thanks to Steve Pilfold for that lovely bit of Vobing reporting. That's very kind. Thank you very much. Lovely. Looks lovely up there in Hastings, doesn't it? I have to say, I shall have to haste over there at some point and do some videoing. I was talking to the lovely Julia earlier today, and she was reminding me that we had some ideas about doing some bike rides. She's got a bike, but it's got a flat puncture. I said, don't worry, I can fix a flat puncture. I've got a bike. And I said, one of the places I'd love to go riding is on the Romney Marshes. It's a little bit further along from Hastings. The Romney Marshes, all round there, because it's flat, so there's no hills to worry about. And you know, you can get along quite a way and have a look through all the different the rural villages out there, and also some of those abandoned churches. It would be quite fun to get a map and plot all the abandoned churches and the relics of them, and go and find them, that used to have settlements and stuff around. You may be interested in the Bald Explorer when I did the smuggling show, a video, long format video, about 40 odd minutes long. And I forget what it's called. The Smugglers of the Romney Marshes is actually what it was called. I've just had a little brainwave. The producer's voice from inside my head told me what I'd called the video, and it is on YouTube. Just put in the Bald Explorer, Romney Marshes, or Smugglers, and you'll get it. You'll get it, all right. You'll get it. So that was that. Now, I've got this to show you. Here we go. We've been talking about merchandise fairly recently, and I've not done anything about it. I have today. And just as I was sorting this out, the lovely Kevin Hall got in touch and said, here, you're talking about merchandise. Well, we've gone and done some. And he's already produced a very nice shirt, a polo shirt. It looks very lovely. And I'm going to meet up with him fairly soon, and we're going to perhaps go on a walk, and maybe he'll wear his wonderful merchandised shirt. I don't want to say too much about that because that's his thing. But I've been working on this idea with the logo that the lovely Jonathan had sent us. You may remember some months ago, Jonathan, whose name I always get wrong, so I'm not even going to try and say his surname, but we'll just call him Jonathan. He's designed some various logos and stuff for the Bald Explorer. So I rang up a company, and I said to a t-shirt printing company, and I said, do you do t-shirts and polo shirts and that sort of thing? Oh yes. He said, how much will it cost for polo shirts, for example, to have a simple white logo printed on sort of round the breast pocket area of a thing? And they said about £12 to £14 depending on. And I said, well, I want a nice ones, good quality, that people will want to buy, not too garish, not too flash or anything like that. And he recommended a make 100% cotton, very nice, fitted for women and fitted for men, you know, shaped nicely. But we can do t-shirts as well, so I'm going to just sort that out. But anyway, in the group I posted this picture of a quick mock-up of the sort of thing. A couple of people were quick on the mark to say, oh, not sure about the eyebrows in that picture, it does look a bit odd on the logo. So actually we can eradicate those quite easily just by blowing on the microphone, foof, like that, and they go. It's amazing, isn't it? If you go foof again, they don't come back. I thought they came back if you did that. Maybe you have to go foof. Oh, there we go. So you can get them there, and you can take them away by going foof, and they've gone. So I'd be interested in whether you think the eyebrows should go. See what people think about that, and whether that's a nice little logo for it. Bald Explorer. There was some question about whether we should put a Facebook logo on there to remind people that we are a Facebook group. Although it is on YouTube as well, maybe we should have a YouTube. And actually, my opinion is less cluttered the better. Don't even need the website, because if you put Bald Explorer into Google or Yahoo, I believe that's a search engine, or Alta Vista, I don't know if that's still going, or any of those, anything that's a search engine, the Bald Explorer website, Facebook group, YouTube channels will come up. So we probably just need the name Bald Explorer and leave it as simple as that. So I'd be interested in your thoughts on that. Colours, they do a range of colours. I'll find out from the company what colours they do. They will do a purple, but I have to warn you, the purple will not be available for all and sundry. There'll only be one person who is going to have the purple one, because otherwise it sort of takes away her USP. And well, we don't need to say who that is. But the others will have a range of colours, so be able to choose whichever colours. And also we'll have T-shirts with a similar sort of, you know, I want to keep it relatively classy and subtle. We don't need it to blast out everywhere, because people may not want them, you see. Unless, of course, you're performing and you may want to be big and bold. So it's entirely up to you. I'll let you work that out if you like. No eyebrows, says Jennifer Stewart. Go and shave them at once, Vobes. I certainly will. Maggie Walter says nay to the eyebrows. Okay. Dowsman Michael says a logo for Vobo. Yes, Vobo man. Alta Vista. Hasta la Vista is not a thing, but Alta Vista. I don't know what Alta Vista ever meant. Maybe it's the vista of the internet. Was that what it was? John Berger said that. Jason Terry Hunt says eyebrows should go. I think that is the consensus. John Berger says, anyone want to search on Alta Vista with their 56k modem? Hey, might as well keep the time periods in sync. Yes, that's true. Oh poo, purple is my favourite colour, says Claire Lynch. Well, I haven't really negotiated with the lovely Julia. It may be possible that we can have purple as well. Who knows? Judith Oakley, purple was my favourite. Right, okay, so purple is in. Okay, so sorry, Julia, you can't have purple. Everybody wants purple. So maybe we'll restrict it to everybody's got purple. No, we'll have a range of colours and you can choose whichever colour you like. I don't know which colour I'm going to have, so we'll have to see. But they're going to be... Is £12 to £14 a respectable price for a polo shirt printed up? There'll be postage on top of that. The idea is I go to a local firm and I will say... So what I'll do is I'll get the final design and the range of colours, so you can look at the garment and see what it, you know, whether you think... Then, if you want to order one, this is the best way I think it will run for this, you know, because not everybody's going to want one. Is there'll be what colour, what sex it's got to be, what size it's got to be, and because size is a funny thing, isn't it? Because some people will, you know, because you can't really take them back. That's the only problem. So be colour, sex, size. And so there'll be the requirements. And then you pay up front, whatever it is, £12 to £14, plus something, you know, £1 or something for postage, and then that's that. Then once you've paid, and we'll give a deadline for all the money to come in. You know, we'll do it over a week or 10 days or something, and then at that time we'll collect all the money together. I go up to the company, give them the money, and say, "Can we have the order?" They follow the order as per. And then each one of those come back. Then I'll write out the envelopes and post them on. And then that way I can, you know, check the quality, make sure that it's all kosher, rather than going off somewhere else. And it's a local family-run company, and they all seem very nice, so that would be quite good. Orange would be a good colour. Yes, I think orange would be a good colour for a certain member of the team. I'm not sure that I'm going to wear orange. Michael Holdsworth sounds this sounds like a complicated spreadsheet. No, it's not complicated at all. How is that complicated, Matthew? I'm not going to have one size fits all, because one size obviously doesn't fit all. So I think we need to have whatever your size is. You know, we need to know whether you want a man's fit or a woman's fit, so what sex it is, and the colour. There's three things, that's all. You send your money with that, and it's all, and everything else is done. So I can't see. £3 minimum UK postage, says Nigel Sadler. So whatever it is. Richard, sorry. Did you say what the colours... I don't know what the colours are at the moment. This is just the sort of... This is embryonic. This is at the embryonic stage, ladies and gentlemen. It's very embryonic. Once I know what the colours are, once I know the exact cost of the price, once I know the exact final design of the logo, once all that's in place, I will let you know. So this is a problem. As soon as you sort of launch an idea, what is this then? And how much is that? And when will it be? And what about... It's too complicated. This is just an idea at this stage. I'm just progressing it. I'm not stressed. I stress that I'm not stressed. Blue would be... Yes, there'll be a range of colours, for goodness sake. I don't know what colours they are. I'll have to go and check with them. There'll be a range of colours. For goodness sake, my blood is going over the pressure. Julie says, well, I own plenty of purple things, but I don't own the colour itself. But there you go. You see? That's very generous of you. Jason says, yes, the point is... I just want to know if people would like to buy them. There's no point me going through this rigmarole and jumping through all these hoops. Hooves. Not hooves, hoops. Who said hooves? I didn't say hooves. There's no point me going through all this if nobody wants one. That's what I'm saying. Plus, pounds and dollars are different, so I'll have to figure out the American price. Oh, for Americans, it will be... just add 7 noughts. 7 noughts. It'll be absolutely highly... I mean, the other option is I can put the logo... out available, and you can all go to your favourite t-shirt and screen printers. That's the other option, of course. I've still got a Vobe show mouse mat. Blimey, you've got a mouse mat from the Vobe show. That's going back a long way. Anyway, the main thing is go to the Facebook group. Don't all tell me now, because the people on YouTube are going, he's just talking to them. He's just talking to them. He's not talking to us. I've put a post in the what's the name group. All I need to know is roughly if it's a goer. I think a few people want it, so that's all very good. So that's marvellous. We've virtually run out of time. I wanted to tell you also about how is it we run out of time. I had so little to talk about, and I've waffled all evening. Video workshop. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, a video workshop. A day with me somewhere in Sussex, sometime in the summer, not probably till July or something. Give us plenty of time to work something out. And the idea is that we spend a day making a video, and I will tell you or show you or demonstrate or teach or whatever you want to say how to make better videos. That's the idea. A nice simple day out where you can bring whatever camera equipment you have. It doesn't have to be a camera on a gimbal. It's not restricted to anything like that. We just have a day. We spend about 6 hours. We'll go and we'll like walk through a village or walk through a park or whatever. And we'll talk about the whole process of making it very simple and very easy, but throwing a few hints and tips from me, from what I've learned over the last year and years of making videos and things, about storytelling, the principle of keeping it simple, stupid, and then a bit about the editing and making it so that it just has that little bit more of a crisp edge. That's the idea. So again, if anybody's interested, I'd just be interested. Again, there's a post in the Facebook group. Now, Facebook, I have to say, is not the best platform in the world for doing these things, because you have to keep searching down the blooming timeline. You can't seem to post things that people can quickly reference. But we're stuck with Facebook because that's where everybody is. If you're on YouTube, of course, there's other than the video and the comments, there's no point putting things there, because how will I ever see them? So I need to try and work on a system, but nobody wants to leave whatever platform they're on. People don't like to go, oh, I've got to go to a website to do this. So trying to keep it all within the platform. You know what I'm talking about. You've gone very pink, Mr. Yes, I'm not surprised. I think the blood pressure is going to the brim. So, ladies and gentlemen, and ladies who wish they were gentlemen, and gentlemen who wish they were ladies, and all those that mix it, whichever way you hang. It is the weekend. It is the wonderful, glorious weekend, and I hope we're going to have lots of sunshine. I hope it's going to be a nice time. So, no shows tomorrow, no walks, no Bold Explorer lives. You will get Naked Englishmen's if you are a patron of the Vobes. And very quickly, just to remind you that you can I can't find it now. You can become a patron of the Vobes. Here we go, here's the thing. By going to baldexplorer.com/support. Support the channel to make sure everything carries on, which would be very kind. And if you are a patron, today you should have got a special video that the lovely Julia and I made a couple of weeks ago, and I've finally put it together and it's gone out. Our reflections on the Glastonbury trip. It's about 20 minutes long, and it shows some little clips from the trip, the whole thing, and it has us talking about our experiences, and it's a nice little simple little video, but it's very nice. And the patrons who have supported us to help us get on our first mini adventure have got that. There is another little video to follow It's a sort of cobbled together thing. It's I've yet to edit it, so it will come. But if you want to become a patron and keep the thing going, that's where you need to go and help us. You know, a couple of quid a month will really keep it going. The videos will be springing out, and we'll get more guests. We'll go more places. Very exciting. Looking at the Forest of Dean as a potential new mini adventure for later on in the year, which would be very exciting. Hopefully the lovely Julia will be able to come. She can hug as many trees as she can see. So, yeah, so that is the plan. However, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've enjoyed the last hour. It's been great fun, apart from the last stress about T-shirts and things at the very end. In the meantime, when you hear this music, it means Friday is here. The weekend is rolling on. Hope you have a fantastic weekend, and I will see you on the Monday with more videos and more nonsense. So take care, one and all. Thank you so much for coming along. Do check out the posts in the Bald Explorer group, or you can go to thebaldexplorer.com. Don't forget you can, of course, become a lovely patron. But until the next time, thank you for watching, and goodbye! Goodbye! Take care! Goodbye!